The government is shutting down. Everything seems like it's going to chaos. Here's what I want you to do first. Don't panic. So we know that for the last couple of days that the government has shut down and there's so many things happening, right? And the news are reporting this all the time. Take a look.
As it has started handing out layoff notices to federal workers as the government shutdown reaches day 10. Employees at multiple government agencies, including the Homeland Security, Treasury, and Health and Human Services departments, have all been impacted. The announcement comes one day after President Trump threatened to make major cuts to what he called Democratic agencies. CBS News.
The government's shutting down. You're watching the news and you're feeling anxious about everything that's happening. To be honest with you, I am not here to add noise or fear or any of that type of stuff. That's not what we do here. Hi, everyone. My name is Uche Maple. You're here on the Women Who Lead Network. And what we talk about is everything dealing with leadership and entrepreneurship and living a purpose-driven life. And it also includes your livelihood, especially what's happening now with so many things going on. It's so uncertain. You got the job today and it's gone the next. But I'm really here to give you something that you can actually use that's going to help you right now to protect yourself. And if, even beginning at the end of this year, at the beginning of this year in January, when there were multiple layoffs, when Doge was closing down different departments in the government, and people were without jobs, people were reframing what does life look for them now. And again, this is just a continuation of that. So I want to encourage you is to not be still in this season. This is a season of transition. This is a season of movement. This is a season of really taking a look at where you are to see what are things that you're supposed to be doing that you haven't done. And this is the season right now, how you can protect yourself from when uncertainty happens. So number one, control what you can control. Listen, we can't control a lot of things, right? We can control only the things that's within our power, within our vicinity. And you may feel anxious because, uncertainty creates anxiety that makes us feel powerless. But here's the truth. There are things that you can control right now. And what that includes is your mindset, your finances, your network, and your skills. Okay. You can't control the shutdown, but you can control how you respond to it. And you're like, Uche, that's easier said than done. It is. But considering everything that has been happening this year, at some point, we have to control how we respond to things because it's just not healthy for us. You just don't want to live a life that anytime something happened, you're panicking and you're like, at this point now, we should have some type of system on how we don't panic after everything happens. You're not a victim, you're a strategist. Let me review your budget right now. I know this is like, well, Uche, people always say, review your budget. Review your budget. You know, one thing that I did, because I used to like go and get coffee. I went and bought me a coffee machine where I now make my coffee at home. And it saves so much money because sometimes I don't need coffee. I can make tea, but it just saves so much money and including gas. Reach out to your professional network and use this time to upskill. What are some skills that you can do right now that's going to increase the value that you have in addition to everything else? And it could be something that you might be wanting to do for a while. You just haven't done it. Well, now is your chance to do it. You don't control the environment, but you can control your response. Okay. And let me say this, you're not a victim, you're a strategist because you are using this as an opportunity to reframe what is happening in this moment. All right. Number two, I want you to protect your peace. The news cycle is designed to keep us anxious. Like what's going on? It's like it's an addiction. And if you're consuming negative information all the time, 24/7, to be honest with you, you're just depleting yourself. And what we want to do right now in this season that we in is to add, not remove. Add the things that we want to that are good for us and remove the things that are depleting us. Limit your news consumption. Check once or twice a day, but not every hour. Um, Learn how to customize what type of social media you're following, and unfollow anything that increases your anxiety. I know for me, one of the things that I started doing was especially really like during COVID back then, I started just not listening to anything negative that was going to trigger anything. So when there was another mass shooting, when there was another someone getting hurt, I just stopped listening to all that. And because there was nothing I can control and it wasn't advantageous to me, right? The reality is that every day we get up, we want to be productive and we want to perform at our highest level. And when we're consuming information that's not doing that and is draining us, that means that that's not the information we need to consume. I love when someone said that, they said it's okay to be concerned but not consumed. So be concerned but don't be consumed. That makes sense? Your peace is not determined by external chaos. It's determined by what you set to bring into your life. Okay? Number 3, position yourself for your next season. This season, and you know what? I can't wait to create so much content that's coming out. This season has been a season of transition. It's been a season of getting more. It's been a season of some people losing their jobs, some people gaining new jobs, some people adding new skills to their to their portfolio, some people removing skills, some people becoming experts. This is just a time for season. And for me, in this time, this is a time where I have been really focusing on, for me, the word of God, the Bible, where I'm realizing now that, I grew up in a Church of God in Christ, Kojic. And what I realized is that I heard the word, but I didn't know the word. So this was a season for me to get fortified in the word as I'm learning. And I'm realizing that I'm having to unlearn, relearn, and learn some stuff that I didn't know before. And so it has just been a great journey for me. So when we talk about positioning ourselves for the next season, what does that mean? What are some ideas that you like, I really want to do this, but you have not been stewarding it? So you want to make sure that, those ideas, how are you stewarding those ideas? It could be taking a class, it could be reading books, it could be just gaining more information, talking to people in this area. How are you stewarding the ideas that have been given to you that you have been sitting on? Because, there, in certain seasons, there are certain things that we need to do. For example, there are certain seasons where you need to plant certain crops, certain flowers, so that when it comes time for them to bloom or to produce fruit, they are there. You don't want to wait because you'll miss that season of production of the stuff taking form of it being produced. So what are some things that you need to do right now to prepare for your next season? And here's what most people do during uncertain times, right? They actually freeze because they're afraid they don't know how to move. They stop making moves, they play safe and they wait. And I'm going to say this is the season to be bold. Right now, this is the last quarter of 2025. This is not the time to be sitting and waiting. It's the time to be bold and making moves. And I'm not saying that it should be like this huge, elaborate move, but you should be moving, doing something, and not standing still. There may be some things that you may want, like, okay, I'm going to sit still here. But in other things that's in your life, you could be making movement. And uncertainty is actually the best time to position yourself, right? Because everyone else is frozen with stocks, right? We know that when something, when something happens, it's people in the background in the world that are buying stocks up when things are happening in the world. They're just not sitting still. So, and then, it's an opportunity too for you to clarify your calling. Build your plan, develop your courage muscle, and then invest in yourself. I'm going to repeat that again. Clarify what you're being called to do in this season. What do you feel like that you have been wrestling with because you have been afraid to do? Get clarity on it. Build your plan. Something simple. I'm going to start doing this next week. It's don't make it difficult. Develop the courage muscle. Yeah. Um, and that's easier said than done, right? But the courage muscle is something simple. Like, for example, I have been wanting to do this, to do investing in my YouTube for like 3 or 4 years now. And I'll do some stuff and then I'll quit. But now that I feel like this is the time for me to actually begin to invest and start putting out content, um, that can help people, because there's a lot of things that I have went through, and I really just want to make, and I really want to be in a position where I am creating content that is making people want to leap, that you're leaping into your next, that you're leaping as a leader, that you're leaping as an entrepreneur, and that you're leaping to define what your purpose is in this life, to discover, what you are called to be. And so this is why I'm doing this channel. So while everyone else is playing small, you are positioning. Uncertainty doesn't stop you, it prepares you. Yes, yes. And I like to say yes, yes, because that's the way that, it's like the mantra, yes, yes. One of my coaches said that, and I loved it, and I just started using it. So listen, if you are feeling the weight of uncertainty right now, and you're called to move, and you're called to do more, but your plan is safe. I am actually, at the end of this month, I am hosting a free training called the Field Season. And what we're going to be talking about is how you can recognize when your prepare season, when your preparation season is ending, and how to step into boldness even when everything else feels uncertain. So the link will be in the description. This is your season to be bold. Don't let chaos stop you. All right. I'll be dropping a video every day for the rest of this month at noon. It'll be set to premiere. So be sure to like and subscribe. This is going to be an awesome time, an awesome beginning, an awesome season. But we just need to take the move. We need to have the courage to move, even when everything else is telling us to stand still. Bye, everyone. This is Uche out.